Welcome everyone to the L7C podcast anime edition. Today we have the final four of our anime element March Madness bracket that we started all the way back at the beginning of March. This is the fifth and final episode of this. If you have not listened to the previous ones, make sure you go listen to them. Broke it down by regions: fire, water, lightning, earth. So check those out before you listen to the final. We got most of the crew. We got Byron with us. How you doing today, sir?
Doing good today. I'm ready to see who is the champion of this anime element March Madness tournament. I feel like I know who it is, but I'm waiting.
Fair enough. We have Andrea with us. How are you doing today, ma'am?
I'm all right. How are y'all?
Good. This has been a journey. Can't believe a month's already zoomed by.
Seriously.
We got Niki with us. How are you doing today, sir?
Man, can't complain. We still alive and breathing.
Amen to that. And we got Cedric with us today. How you doing today, sir?
Hello.
All right. So we have reached the final four. If you follow us on any social media, Instagram or Twitter, you will see that the pictures came out of who's in the final four: Yamamoto, Jinbe, Crocodile, and Lexus. Each person, Yamamoto got here. He beat Ace first, then Fenten, then Natsu, then Jinbe. Where did he go? He had Noelle first, then Tyr, then Sailor Mercury.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had Lactus. Lactus started. He fought Denki, then Killua, then Enel. And then you had Crocodile. Where did Crocodile start? He fought Soul Marin, then Jura. And then he fought Pico, one of his own One Piece familia. So before we get into the final four, because if we just dive right into it, this episode would be 5 minutes. I'll start with you, Niki. Like the journey, this has been a whole month and we've been doing it round by round, region. How have you felt these have gone? What have been some of your favorite matchups that we've done before getting to the final four?
Man, I honestly think these have gone great. You know, a lot of us seem to have the same picks.
Mm-hmm.
When it got to the Elite Eight, that's when, you saw your differences between us.
Mm-hmm.
But this was honestly real good. When it comes to favorite matchup, them first round matchups were genuinely unfair for most people, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like the randomizer was not nice to them.
Yeah,
but the toughest one, it was definitely Lexus versus Enel. I think that might have been my favorite one just because of how debated it was. I mean, those were two high, powerful people.
Agreed. Andrea, how about you? Like going through this whole month, like literally a whole month of this, and what were some of your favorite matchup? What were some of your favorite things that you saw throughout this anime tournament?
So going through it for like a whole month, it's weird for me to be on a podcast this regularly, or this often, I should say, since I basically do one every month, so that's pretty regular. But to do 4 in a month and then do this one for the 5th week in a row, it became part of my routine pretty quickly. So it's something that I've really enjoyed. My favorite matchup, I don't know that I have a favorite matchup per se. I think for me, the first matchup where I really just straight up had no idea what was going on was the Natsu versus Yamamoto matchup. So I think that one's the one that sticks in my mind the most, because that was the first one where I'm like, I have no idea really who anybody is for the first time in this whole tournament. And what was the other question? I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, that was just like favorite matchup, like some favorite stuff we went through. You answered it, so you did good.
Awesome. Thank you. Oh, but to Niki's point about the Lexus versus Enel fight. So a friend of mine started listening to our podcast, and I shared the post on Instagram with him for the final four today. And he let me know that he was disappointed that we went with Lexus over Enel, that he had Enel taking the whole bracket. So just shout out to him. Appreciate your thoughts.
The whole tournament?
No. The whole bracket.
Oh.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of funny you brought that up because I'll go to me before I go to Byron and Cedric. Anel versus Zenitsu was highly contested.
Mm-hmm.
Like Anel didn't almost make it past Zenitsu. Because I think our things is like what we were all basing off of, which that's something I really enjoyed. Like Niki was basing Zenitsu off of what he's going to become at the end of the show, as in maybe like a Byron, Andrea, and myself are basing Zenitsu of what we've seen. So I felt like that was really, really cool because it's like, obviously, if you don't want to be like, since we're all watching some of these shows live, you don't want to be super spoiled, but it's like, this person is going to become this. So maybe down the road, they did a rematch. Once we see what the final forms are, things change.
True.
Byron, how about you, man? What's been some of your favorite like moments during this anime tournament and like matchups?
Just the whole tournament has been super fun to just be on and get everyone's thoughts on the different matchups. I think that first episode was probably my favorite because we were just like getting into it, getting into deep discussion on each character. But my favorite matchup was probably Natsu versus Yamamoto because I feel like that was one of our highly contested matchups.
Fair enough. Cedric, we wouldn't be able to even do this tournament without your idea, so we always appreciate that. What are your thoughts on how we've been doing the tournament and some of your favorite moments?
Thank you guys for humoring me with this. I'm greatly humbled, honestly. I honestly didn't think it was going to go this well. I had fun. Some of my favorite matchups is learning about Jinbe and learning about Sailor Mercury's essentially interdimensional powers. I had no idea Homegirl could do that. So that was probably one of my favorite matchups.
Agreed. I do. I know, especially back to back, because if you look at that Elite Eight, we did Fire and Water, and then Natsu versus Yamamoto was pretty good debate. And then you go from the Mercury to Jinbe. It's like, I feel like those back to back really like set us in a groove on how we're going to do this.
Agreed.
Was there anyone, start off with you, Andrea, is there anyone you wish could have advanced further?
All of my Avatar The Last Airbender character. Just one of them at least.
The randomizer was not kind to them.
Oh, was not. We'll bring you back for another day, y'all.
How about you, Niki? Anyone you wished the randomizer was more kind to? I know you had to during WrestleMania, so I know you had to shut down Mr. Pat Rick about Avatar, saying it's not their levels over. There's levels to this, as the people would say.
Yeah, man, I had to let Patty Boy know that they're just not on the same level, and it's okay. It wasn't supposed to be. Mm-hmm. One aired on Nickelodeon, the other you have to watch on Kiss Anime. You know, if you're an OG, you remember those days. Like there's levels to this.
This is Nickelodeon.
That is true. There's.
But I have to, man. I wanted Noelle to go farther because I genuinely love Noelle. Mm-hmm. I think she's one of the top people in Black Clover, and I feel like she would have got more love. She just had to go against our eventual champion of the Water Division, Jinbe.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. Cedric, how about you? Is there anyone you wish the randomizer was more kind to?
I mean, the only people for real that got like shot on was Avatar people. Like in a consistent enough basis. Like
3 for 3.
Everyone else, like, I mean, Sailor Mars, but even then it's like it's really just because Phaeton's cold-blooded, so just that's not fair for
anybody.
Like, of all people to be, it's just like of all people in that division to get stuck with him, like, it's kind of salty business. But unfortunately, like, I don't even know who. Unfortunately, besides maybe Zuko, I don't even know what that matchup would even be like who she's beating.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
So it's like it's hard for me to be like, yeah, the randomizer. I mean, the randomizer was unfair for like some really, really good matchups, but as far as just like unfortunate stuff, I mean, it is what it is.
Fair enough. Byron?
I probably Avatar because like they really did get unfair matchups.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I do wish we could have had a Phaeton versus Rengoku matchup.
Yeah.
I was looking at that. I was like, I wonder how we would have went with those two going at it.
I don't know.
Like the teams that, if they would have matched up, if it would have been differently. Like I feel like that one would have been a really, really good one. Or Killua versus Zenitsu. Like just seeing like the different matchups, the different combinations. But hey, the randomizer picked who the randomizer picked.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, let's get to some of the people of the Final Four to remind people who they are. And when you see this PowerPoint, you will see I got better by each person because I was able to fit everyone's stuff on one page as I got better through it. So we're going to share. First person, the Fire Champ, Yamamoto Bleach. These are just the normal stuff. We don't have to go through it. Master Swords and all that stuff. Yada, yada, yada. If you're watching this on YouTube, you'll be able to see this. Then you obviously have like power levels and Zanbato, and obviously when he does his Bankai, which we all know is crazy. The next person, Niki, go ahead. He is the water champion.
Yes, sir. Fighting in the blue corner, we have Jinbe. Some of y'all may refer to him as Boss Jinbe. If you're a pirate under him, that's what you refer to him to. Or you might know him as the first son of the sea. He stands at 9 feet, 10 inches. He is a whale shark fish man, basically, to say the least. Hence why he's ginormous. Spoilers, people. If you haven't read the manga, skip this part for like a minute. He's got a 1.1 billion berry bounty, which is one of less than 20 people. I think off the top of my head, there's like 18 at max. So put some respect on him. And then one of the greatest quotes ever said, as he is standing face to face with Big Mom, the toughest woman in One Piece by far, one of the 4 Yonko, or Emperors of the Sea, as they're known in English. He looked her in her face as she's activating her power. Didn't work on him. And he's had the balls to say, I'm a man who wants to be part of the future Pirate King's crew. I can't be intimidated by a mere Yonko. That's some G shit. And the first time we hear Jinbe basically say Luffy's going to become the Pirate King.
Fair enough. Awesome. That's from the water division. Man, we're doing corners. I should have just said Yamamoto coming from the red corner, the captain of the Goten.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I like that. The captain, intros. You know, he's an OG captain of Byron because he was over 2,000 years old. But awesome. So then you got the yellow corner. You got the Lightning Region champ, Lactus from Fairy Tail. Cedric, do you want to say anything quick about the Lightning Man?
Oh, it's Lexus Dreyer. God, grandson of the Guildmaster of Fairy Tail. Some Dragon Slayer magic, Dragon Slayer magic. One of the only people who has mastered fairy law. Honestly, super fast, super strong. Knows how to take an ass whooping and keep on pushing.
Fair enough. I love it. All right, you got Niki. Go ahead, man.
Would this be the green or the brown corner for the Earth?
This will be brown corner. I like to stick with the colors of their powers.
Fair enough. Okay.
In this corner, we have Sir Crocodile. He stands at 8 feet 3 inches. So another tall motherfucker. He's just a normal human in this show. No other reason for him to be 8'3". He's just a human who's 8'3". Some of you might know him as Mr. Zero from the early days when he was in charge of Baroque Works. He also, spoilers again, cut a minute out of your listen if you're not reading the manga and you're watching One Piece. He also has a $1 billion bounty, or berry bounty, I should say, just like Jinbe. His is 1.965 billion berries. There are less than 10 people ahead of him in the anime, or I mean in the manga, that we have seen their bounties higher than his. So he's a huge threat to the world government who hands those out. And he's the first one to give Luffy true work in that show. Beat his ass twice, and arguably could have won the third time if Luffy didn't have the help.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Awesome. Awesome. Well, let's go back to oh, new share. Back to the bracket. All right. So we got the first. You got Fire versus Water. You got Captain Yamamoto from Bleach versus Jinbe from One Piece. Niki, man, how's your guy doing in this matchup?
Man, it's not looking hot.
Or it is looking hot. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's looking real hot. That's the issue. I mean, we've talked about Jinbe. He's got observation hockey.
Mm-hmm.
He's got his armament hockey.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's been shot through the chest with a punch of magma before. So like he's beefed with fire. You know, he actually fought Fire Fist Ace to a standstill after 5 straight days of fighting. He unfortunately doesn't stand a chance. Yamamoto is just on a whole nother level when it comes to this stuff. He's got that old man power in anime.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not talking Master Roshi old man power. Now I'm talking like he's the top tier of his universe.
Mm-hmm.
If he wants to be, he just happens to be old as fuck.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Fair enough. Byron, what you got between these two beefing it out? How you think this is gonna go?
I really wish I could pick Jinbe, because Niki made me want to watch One Piece when he just had that passionate promo about Jinbe. However, he doesn't stand a chance against Yamamoto. It's not fair. It's not a fair matchup for him. He takes the L on this one.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Andrea?
So I also think Yamamoto is going to win this one. Again, unfortunately, the final 4, I'm not familiar with any of these characters and or anime. But based off of what I've heard throughout and the little bit of research background knowledge that I'm aware of, yeah, it just seems a little too one-sided and a little too Yamamoto seems a little OP for this tournament, but we'll just leave that for later.
Fair enough. Cedric, is there anything you wanted to add?
Man, I really wanted to rock with Jinbe because he's tall. Fishman karate. I'm just saying, when you see a 9-foot bean, I can't call him a human. When you see a 9-foot bean, that says some things. But I mean, they got giant ass hollows and shit in Bleach, so I know Yamamoto ain't looking at this man like, "Oh, you're too big." It's like, yeah, all right.
Now you're trying to. You make me want to look up how tall that first hollow he fought was that he cut down to size.
All I know is that the funniest thing I heard Byron say is he may watch One Piece. Byron, you're gonna be spending 5 years before you finish that. at the rate that you watch anime.
That's true.
Byron gonna be 40 years old by the time he finishes One Piece. Be like, oh, you guys, I finally finished One Piece.
I mean, you're not lying, Cedric. I wish I could say you were, but you're not.
That is hilarious. I mean, Byron takes his time. Anyone who knows him and Byron takes that time. He is not in a rush to do anything.
You would have thought he slowed the episodes down or some shit.
Oh, we came for the.
I just have too much.
Stay for the
too
roast
much
of
shit
Byron,
I'm interested in.
Damn.
That's the problem.
Man, Byron, there be times I'll be asking, what shows you watching? You even be hesitating for a second, like half the time you're like, well, what are you watching? Like,
yeah, if I'm not watching like YouTube or anime, I'm playing video games.
What are you watching on YouTube? Never mind. That's a different conversation. I'm sorry.
Oh.
So the hollow that Yamamoto killed just for height reference, who he killed in one slash, was 9. No, he was 7'9", can grow to 15'1", and he was 9.5 tons.
Wow.
And he cut that with one slash.
Hey, but he don't know Fishman karate.
He does not. He does not. But I don't know. I don't think there's a path to victory for Jinbe. I really don't.
So is it Jinbe or is it Jinbe? You've been saying Jinbe, and I've been getting like confused. I ain't gonna lie, because I don't watch One Piece.
So it's so you'll see two different spellings. You'll see Jimbei. So you'll hear Jinbe, or you'll see the Jinbe without the I at the end, and it's just Jinbe. So yeah, his name's Jinbe in the show.
Jinbe, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
I
Well, shout out
really
to him.
confused. I was like, oh, have I been pronouncing it wrong this whole time?
Well, he unfortunately goes down. Then you got this matchup. You got Lightning versus Earth. Crocodile, Lexus. Byron, how are you feeling about this one? This is a very, very interesting matchup.
This one I've been struggling with. Because I know they both can throw hands, and I know they're both durable. I think Crocodile has the slight edge because he can turn into sand at will. But I think I'm going to give it to Crocodile because he does have that poison hook, and he also can drain the water from people with his right hand.
Cedric?
So I know next to nothing about Crocodile. Not even going cap. No clue. However, I did see your little PowerPoint that you put together quite the ensemble. I see you out here.
Hey, I'm just a moderator. With some small editing skills.
With some small editing skills. That's how humble,
I can't
you are.
edit voice, but I can do video and pictures. Just saying.
Well, it's to your advantage that you don't edit voice. Otherwise, you'd be doing probably like 80% of these because you like, you know what, it's faster if I just do it myself. But
also, he'd wake up, at 3 a.m. and be like, you know what? Time to edit some videos or some podcasts.
Nah, he'd be on his phone just laying there. Courtney, are you awake?
That's true.
Oh, now you are.
That's true. There was one time where I thought about like, man, I'm coming up here like 11:30, 12, and I just want to do like a wrestling entrance. Like Niki, I wanted to just walk in one time while she's asleep and do the Cody Rhodes and be like, "Whoa!"
The American Nightmare.
Yeah, bro, I wanted to go in there. Oh man, but Cedric is right. I would be. It'd be a menace more than I am.
So this I struggle with honestly. So I'm not so worried about the poison too much because I know Loxus fought that demon that literally poison your entire body where you're dying if you use magic. And dude still whooped that dude's ass at the end. Laxus can turn into lightning to evade attacks and move. My just thing is the whole dehydration thing. I'm not quite sure how that honestly works. If it's like I just think of you as being dry, or I have to like hit you with sand or whatnot. I honestly don't understand that. But if it's something where he could just like make the water leave your body just by looking at you or moving his hand, then that's quite OP, and I don't see how anyone's surviving that.
Niki, any clarification on the moisture?
Yes. So, if I recall correctly, he has to touch you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's got to be holding you to dehydrate your body. Because when he dehydrates Luffy, he's basically choking him with one hand, dehydrating him.
Got it.
So yeah, I'm gonna fact check that, but if I recall correctly, he has to physically touch you. So I mean, it's very doable.
Okay.
It looks like on It looks like he can absorb the moisture. He has to be touching you with his right hand. Very specific.
Well, his left hand's a giant hook, so
yeah. Utterly destroy his surroundings, killing and mummifying any biological substances via dehydration. That's intense. Okay. And then he makes sandstorms. Lactus can do lightning storms. This is such a great matchup. Well,
and I'm gonna go with the one I know more about, honestly.
Okay.
And if I'm wrong out of ignorance, I'll take it. It is what it is. So I'll go Lexus.
Fair enough. 1-1. Andrea?
My logic for this particular matchup goes along the lines of sand is an insulator for lightning. So it does seem like they match up pretty well on paper against each other. So I'm just going to go back to like natural kind of opposites. And I feel like for that reason, Sir Crocodile has a bit of an edge. I don't know exactly like how he would finish the fight, because I feel like it would be a bit of a challenge for him to grab Lexus with his right hand to like actually suck out the moisture in his body. But I don't know. That's just also, it gives me a callback to Katara being able to bloodbend and technically able to suck moisture out of anything, although Avatar isn't gruesome enough for them to do it out of a human being, but in theory she could do it. So for that reason as well, I will pick Sir.
Captain Byron.
He went first.
I went first, yeah.
Oh, shit. I apologize. Sorry about that.
I mean, I'll give my answer again if you want.
No. And I literally have it on the other computer.
Byron gets to go twice.
I literally have it on the other screen. That's embarrassing.
He went first. You like to start with him sometimes, so you did it this time.
That is embarrassing. Because I didn't have... Because that Andrea went, Cedric went, Byron went. So it's Niki. Okay.
Man, this was also a tough one. This might have been the toughest one of the thing so far, because in this one, we got lightning versus sand. And if you look at it,
is he straight up sand? Like just sand, like no rocks or nothing?
Yeah, he's sand. He's got control of the sand. I was fucking up on here. Oh, well, too late for that. I was shocked to see him in here because he was just strictly sand.
Right. Listen, Google betrayed me. That's all I know.
Hey, sand's a part of Earth. It's all good. It's all good.
But there's other sand people from different... There's also sand people from different animes. I was like, yeah, no, you're not Earth, so I'm going to pass on you because I can make it on sand thing. That's why I'm like, shit. But it is what it is. You live and you learn.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Yeah, but like this was the toughest one, and like I was saying, they're basically similar. Like you can almost look at Lexus as if he's a Nell, and his body's lightning. He uses lightning-based attacks. I think Crocodile has the better evading ability, considering he's basically able to subconsciously turn to sand at any point, whereas Lexus more so has to think about it, and like his body doesn't just kind of let attacks penetrate through it like Crocodile's does. And so there's that. And then it comes down to Lexus has Fairy Law.
That was going to be my question. Can he...
The ultimate trump card.
Like, because I know it's literally just like a boom, you gone type of thing. But I've never seen... This never been done with anyone that's like is sand.
Right. And then like another thing with it, is he even a hit Crocodile? Like that's another big thing. Because when you're a Logia user, you could just move your body as sand the entire time, or just become fire the entire, then bring your body back its physical nature. And then, like Cedric said, I don't think the poison will have too much effects against Lexus. I mean, shit, he ate Bane particles, which are basically poisonous and supposed to kill you if you kill them in Fairy Tail. Dragon Slayer's just got the hacks. That's how he was able to do it, and Natsu was able to eat those bane particles. But I'm gonna honestly give this dub Crocodile. I think he takes it just as his body is more autonomous when it comes to himself. And then he's got hands to hands. I mean, he survived getting blasted by a dude in the show whose body is made of diamond. He ate the diamond fruit. Not a Logia, he's a Paramecia, for you people out there listening and know what your types are. He beefed with Mihawk, who's the greatest swordsman in that show, and didn't get clapped. Beefed with Doflamingo, who, spoilers in the anime, if you're not there yet, is one of the main villains that Luffy fights. And, I mean, I give it to Crocodile. I think he can beat Lexus, especially if he can get his right hand on him. Because, I mean, Lexus has to attack him, and I think that right hand will get him eventually.
Fair enough. Ooh, well. Crocodile advances. Great job,
Who
team.
are you going to choose?
Martin, who did you have?
Yeah.
Objectively, I had Crocodile, but me personally, Lexus, because I like lightning more than I like earth.
Well, that's fair. No. If we went off what we like, I would have picked Jinbe over Yamamoto. I'm a water person all of the way.
I mean, lightning's my favorite. I know I'm basic in that regard, so.
Is that really basic? Like,
it's kind of.
It really is.
It's basic. That's probably my most. That's probably my most one of maybe my most basic anime isms, if that's what I'm going to call it. That I like lightning people. I mean,
some of your favorite female characters are also like not anything off the wall. So
yeah. So I mean, nothing really too wild. All right, so the championship, Niki. I'm going to ask you: does Crocodile have a chance to avenge Jinbe?
He doesn't. As much as I'd like to hype up Crocodile's like sand and sucking the moisture out, I don't know if he can necessarily beef with someone whose sword basically is the sun. That's its heatness. Also, spoilers if you haven't watched the 1,000-Year Blood War yet for Bleach.
Niki is dropping them.
I have to. This motherfucker summoned an army of all the people he killed.
Yep.
With his Bankai.
Yep.
Like,
just imagine dealing with that.
Like, as I said, this podcast with Avatar, Crocodile's just not the same level as Yamamoto.
Yep.
Fair enough. I mean, you brought up the Bankai. Obviously, that's just one of the things he could bring up. And he's 2,000 years old, so that's a lot of dead bodies.
Yeah,
that's a lot of dead bodies.
A lot of Quincy's. No, I mean, like, think about it historically with Bleach, right? Like 2,000 years, because he ain't bringing back hollows. Like, he's bringing back actual people. And so, outside of any people that defected from the Soul Society, the next biggest large population is the Quincy's.
Shoot, it's kind of funny too if you think of it. If he was like killing, because we didn't say if these people were killing each other or not, but if we said they were killing each other, he's bringing back dead bodies of Fish Karate, Natsu.
Yeah, but like don't forget, like, those people ain't got no powers. They just there. Like, this nigga ain't raising the dead. This isn't like Akame got killed with the one girl who literally brings back everyone. Like Akame's sister with the swords, like, I beat all these people here. They're like my puppets. Like,
yeah, you're right on that. But then, I mean, that's just one of the abilities. The other one is once he activates it, all of the moisture in Soul Society is gone. And I remember talking about this with Andrea, Byron, and Niki last week. Is like, all right, so how big is Soul Society? And then, try to find some reputable power scaler on the YouTube. They're like, just think of it as a universe. And I'm like, so you're telling me if Yamamoto activates his Bankai and I'm taking a poop, all my toilet water is gone.
bro. Not just your
The hardest
toilet
shit
water.
of your whole
I
life.
was saying, not just the toilet water, all the moisture from your ass.
All of
So
it's gone.
that is like hot brick shit coming out of
Can
your
you
body.
imagine that? Like you're just doing whatever.
I
Some
bet you- listen.
person-
I can't imagine it, but I bet you can.
Oh, absolutely. Bro, because I know those people were fighting for their lives, but there had to be some person just like hiding, and then they're like, "Dang, why can't I breathe?" Just because.
But why? First of all, what is up with you in all these like anime moments with you having to take a shit? You said the same thing when Eren Yeager started talking to the world. You're like, I can imagine being on the shitter and Eren Yeager starts talking to me like,
I'm just saying, bro. I don't know. It's just
Like-
it's a peaceful place.
it's a peaceful place. You make it sound like they catch you at your most vulnerable, and you're like, they're gonna catch me when I'm most vulnerable. Where I'm on the shitter, I still gotta wipe. Like, what the fuck is happening?
Can't even wipe anymore. I mean, what's? I mean, it's a wrap. Things are gone. Gonna be hot.
We're gonna be taking
boy.
a shit, going to wipe here.
I'm just saying, man. Like shit's hot. Shit's hot out there, and you can't activate any like water or ice bankais when his shit's on.
Oh, I
and-
thought you meant like, I was like, what you
No,
gonna activate
no.
on the toilet, bro? Like, what you talking about?
And then then when he does like the fire stuff, engulfs his body in heat, which reaches temperatures up to 15 million degrees. That's
That's
nice.
too hot.
Byron, would you
Yeah, I
touch him
don't
for
think
$10?
Crocodile could touch him.
Will I touch him for $10?
Dollars.
No.
Like, what Byron gonna do with that $10?
Right, I'm gonna be dead first.
Byron, you just go catch a blaze.
Right.
Oh,
All
man.
Byron's arm hair gonna be gone.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it'd be a. How about 20?
No.
Wow. You just go hear like like real quick sound. That's just all your hair burning up.
Right.
Anyone have anything they want to add to this matchup? Like Niki, Andrea, Cedric, what are you guys thinking?
I mean, Yamamoto's OP.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I almost didn't put him in this because he's OP,
Mhm.
but I was like, you know,
Fuck it.
not even like that. It's like I if I was to fill it with someone else, it would not be as interesting, especially at the time that I thought about this. 1,000-Year Blood War had either just finished the first core, so I'm like, I know that's a character that people out of all of these, if you just started picking up something again, I know for a fact people binged that shit when it was on Hulu.
Mhm.
So I was like, yeah, like this is a person that people literally just saw all the abilities for, like, because we see it throughout the show previously,
Mhm.
but you don't really see the levels of the Bankai until
Mhm.
now, and it's just like,
Mhm.
whoa, you mean to tell me this dude can do all this shit?
Agreed. I agreed. I mean, I don't think there's really much to say. Now, on the chance that he just randomly went on vacation and gave his spot to like Natsu, how would you feel about a Natsu versus Crocodile matchup?
Ooh,
Mm.
That's a good one. Natsu's also ignorant enough. He might try to inhale Crocodile when he turns to sand.
nah,
It's
he's not
wild
gonna try.
sand.
He's not gonna try to eat sand.
Bro,
Like,
you
he's
never know
ignorant-
with him.
bro,
He
he's
ate lightning,
ignorant.
dog.
Yeah, but like, he ain't likely to being able to use that shit. So like, knowing Natsu, that was plot armor Natsu shit. Like, knowing Natsu, if that was the case, he'd fucking end up doing some sand dragon fire shit. Like, if somehow making it work
Exactly.
for him. But I
Right.
don't like off rip. He ain't just gonna be like, "Oh, use some sand." Like, let me inhale it. Like,
That's crazy.
my thing is like Natsu's. So Natsu lets off a temperature as well. Like, because again, I remember when he came back after the hiatus, this nigga like melted the stones and shit in the arena when he was like challenging everyone at the Wizard Games. That's just by his mere presence.
Mhm.
Like, that nigga isn't like releasing any power. But my thing is like, Natsu's not smart. That's
No.
that literally is my biggest thing. Natsu's not smart. Like, and Crocodile is. That's the reason why I was with Laxus. I was like, at least Laxus is smart. Like, he's not a fucking idiot. Like, there's no telling what Natsu would try to do physically. Like, he may try to like fist fight and do all his normal like tandem stuff of just like basic level Dragon Slayer moves, and then that would just be too late for him before he even heats all the way up. Or like his phrase, I'm getting fired up. But before he gets all the way to like the point of like, okay, I need to like, this is do or die. I need to go max out right now. Like,
I know. I think that'd be a really cool matchup.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just thinking of other stuff because I mean, it'd be cool. It'd be cool, but it's looking like the Captain Yamamoto is the winner of the first ever L7C Anime Element March Madness Tournament. Wish we had sound effects because I can do one shining moment right now, but we do not. That was it, man. And we have reached the end. It's been a great ride on this tournament once again. Thank you, Cedric, for coming up with this idea at the end of 2022 and implementing it in 23. This has been a fantastic series.
yeah, it's been fun. It's been a good time. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of my life. Well, I know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to watch anime. But yeah, this has been fun.
We'll go into some other comments. Byron, Andrea, Niki, in that order.
It has been fun. I can't wait to do this again next year with new anime characters if we choose to do it next year. But this was fun. Can't wait for our next anime podcast.
Andrew?
Byron kind of stole most of what I was going to say, so props to you, Byron. I'm very interested to see what we come up with or what Cedric comes up with next year, because this was an awesome idea. And I think I'm gonna have to watch some new anime because I don't know anything about Fairy Tail, Bleach, One Piece, Black Clover. Like, I don't know anything. So if we do this again next year with even more obscure characters, I might have to sit it out because like I have no idea what's going on half the time. So, but it was fun. It was fun. We look forward to maybe some ideas from the audience. If y'all have anything we might want to consider, definitely let us know.
Niki?
Except for Patrick.
Oh.
Hi, Patrick.
Well, he would probably say he would say something ignorant why Zuko could one-shot Yamamoto, and then you lose all credibility.
Would he really go that far, though? He wouldn't go that far.
Niki's laughing. Look at him laugh.
He tried to make the case that Zuko could beat Rengoku.
See, like, and because of his passion for Avatar, I could see why he would do that. That's
Oh no,
bit more
Andrew,
realistic.
he soloed your ass out. He said you weren't fighting hard enough for the Avatar people.
And that's
He did
fine,
say-
but I
he
also
did
have
say
a
that.
concept of what the fuck else is going on in these other verses. So back the fuck up, Patrick. Don't get me
Again.
started.
Back to my comment, everyone except Patrick.
Fair enough.
Niki.
Yeah, Patrick, keep your mouth shut when you don't know what you're talking about. I said what Andrea wanted to say, but I said it in my way so you truly understand what she meant. But back to the fans. As always, leave your comments, your thoughts, except for you, Patty Boy. Also, let us know what you think about Natsu versus Crocodile or Natsu versus Jinbe. Is Natsu beating Jinbe? Let us know in the comments, man.
Those are good ones. So we brought up the fans, which we always really appreciate because you guys really dig our anime podcast. It's shown in, we've been doing this almost 3 years now, that usually our top 10s have a whole bunch of anime podcasts in it. It's from either the Naruto What Ifs to My Hero, Dragon Ball, any of the anime stuff. So you guys really show us love there, and we appreciate that. They're also some of our most viewed episodes on YouTube, and currently podcast wise the number 1 viewed one on YouTube. Again, shout out to Cedric and Byron, who had to explain if they think the third Hokage could dodge a tail beast bomb. So that was still the
I tell you, you can dodge responsibility. What?
Oh my god!
Cedric.
I'm sorry, I've been seeing a lot of like random things on Instagram, and they just remind me that this dude truly was not shit.
Right.
No, he wasn't. But to go back to the fans, I think who again only met him for the first time ever, but gave a great idea on Mitch's podcast, JJ. His fan request, as he has been listening to every episode, catching back up ever since he got put onto the podcast. His fan request would be to get all the anime people who on this podcast, so us five, Justin, and Mitch, and he would want us to do, as I talked about a little bit, an anime draft in spirit of like
anime draft.
Anime draft.
So, like, go ahead, Cedric.
No. You go ahead because I have questions. That you may already answer.
So what he would want, which we'd have to figure out, snake draft like fantasy football, stuff like that. 8 to 10 rounds maybe, but it's not. So you would draft a protagonist, like anyone in anime. Who's a protagonist? Who would you want to be the protagonist of your show? Like your show. It's not about
anime. It's an NFL draft or an anime draft for a build your own anime.
Yeah, it's not about you making like. It's not about our show fighting your like another person's show. It's just about like. So like, let's just say I don't want to give someone. Let's just say if I want to draft a protagonist, I pick Tai from Digimon, right? So if I pick Tai, no one else can pick Tai in any other capacity.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so like stuff like that, and like I was like working like normal anime stuff. So you have a protagonist, you have a rival, you have the love interest. I think we decided on 2 villains, so you get like a first half villain and the season end villain, and then you get like parents. Unfortunately, one of them has to be dead to teach them life values. And then like you get a teacher and you get a best friend, like stuff like that. And that's going to be like in the month of May because we just went 5 straight weeks. So we're going to take a break the rest of April on anime. So that's
easy.
Yeah. So like simple. And then, so I know we talked about it a little bit last time, and Andrea and Niki and Byron are just like, oh, who do I want to draft first? Do I want to draft my villain because I don't want someone else to take my villain? But this is one of those things like the more anime, the more options you got. So
I like it.
Yeah. So just nice, simple thing. If you wanted to make your show, who and all those things, but that's really it, and that'll be the month of May.
I'll say good luck getting Justin in a minute. We're gonna be doing this at like 11 o'clock.
Yeah. So he's editing this, so hopefully he now gets the.
No, I'm dead ass though. Like their schedules suck.
Yeah.
Like May AAU's in swing, so Justin's gonna be working. God only knows what Mitch does. Like it's just gonna be God. Oh damn!
Well, with that being said, if they don't work, maybe we bring those fans back. Maybe we bring Milan and JJ. Maybe we find some other fans who are in anime. We could do a whole big live thing. I already have the snake draft thing. I just need to make the chart with like team whatever. But that's easy shit. So. But that's what we're doing in May. All the other anime stuff, we're gonna take a little break. Do have to shout this out because depending on how fast he works, by the time you listen to this, remember this Sunday, Demon Slayer season 3 starts on Crunchyroll. We all watch Demon Slayer on the anime people besides Mitch watch Demon Slayer on the L7C. So we'll be locked in. So make sure you tune into that. Season 3 begins officially. And with that being said, this is the L7C podcast. Thank you for listening to the anime element. March Madness Final 4, and we'll be back in May. Take care. Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.